You got a case of the Mondays days?
Yo, we here, man.
The world according to Eric.
Every Monday, 4 to 7 on Southside Dash Radio.
Hey,
Oh, man.
this is tight.
Yeah.
It's kind of official, huh? He thought he was walking into something janky.
No, I know what y'all do. Official.
Yeah.
I'm still,
Every now and then I get invited to Eric's fancy things. Soirees.
That's how I be feeling.
Look, hey, you know what's crazy? It doesn't matter how many times we talk about this show being a radio show. People be like, yo, I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Your podcast. I'd be like, oh my God.
Like, this is live radio. You can call in.
And I think you should just call it a podcast.
No.
I would be doing the same thing. Like, podcasts
Does this look
are
like a
lit.
podcast
podcasts
to
are
you?
lit.
But does this look like a podcast to you?
Yes.
It's
that's
a
our
full
pod-
production.
Yeah, the podcast.
Podcast be full production?
Joe Rogan.
They be doing
You
it
ever
out their
watch
living
this joint?
rooms.
No, not you, Leeds.
I
No,
do
you
like
straight
Joe Rogan.
Leeds? No,
I
you
do like Joe Rogan.
No, I was just talking about in
Shit.
general.
It's like this.
Yeah. Hell, TV shows now are broadcasting. They'll
mean,
put the audio on as a podcast.
So do you keep it and play it? Can we play it on demand?
We're going to start playing it on demand at the end of February.
as well, so I can-
Officially.
I
We'll
do-
have all of
Is
our
that
old
so?
shows.
Where will
Yeah.
they be?
You have to, bro.
Where will they be, Eric?
MC hold us
Gotta be a
accountable.
podcast.
She's good at it.
I know. It's just, it's
Dude, do that. Like I tell all my friends, 'cause, look at this, what age we're in. Like everybody ain't got time to sit down, or they don't think they do anyway.
They
and
better make time. Look, we special.
But the podcast thing, though, they can check it out later. I tell my boy Shelly Winter, he has the talk radio or whatever. I'm like, dog, I'm not up that early. Put that thing on. But I like what you're saying. I want to hear it.
Yo, so real quick, I know we have a few questions.
All right, let's
You
go.
know, and you know, here, see, you don't understand.
we-
And now we going
We shoot the shit all the time.
all the
Can I
time.
say shit?
No,
Yeah, you can say
have
yeah.
you not been listening?
Oh, this is satellite.
No, he ain't been listening.
You say whatever you want.
You just told on
Y'all seen, how y'all seen me on the live with y'all before?
we be cussing.
How long were you in Russia?
Oh,
Look at you jumping.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was good. That was good.
I'm sorry.
2 weeks, about 2 weeks,
2 weeks,
maybe 3.
Don't go into that right now. I want
right.
Jinx to ask you her questions, and then I'm going
right.
to go.
Then
over
I'm
it.
coming back to
All right.
Russia because I have questions
Yes.
about Russia.
Yeah,
Let's
like
just
we'll touch
all
on a couple
feel
of
Russia
things.
right now. Shout out to Mila. She's over in Russia right now. She's over. She's she's there for the whole month.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Jinx. I'm thinking. Go ahead.
Jinx.
I mean, you know what? I had this introduction, but we're just about to jump right in.
Let's go.
Medium hard.
Whoa.
Oh,
Jesus
what's going
Christ.
on here?
You missed
Welcome,
that
man.
part.
Welcome, man. Yeah, just-
You missed that part. No, but so let's start. I wanted to start it from the very
That
beginning.
is how I like my wings, by the way.
Good.
Need mine.
Yay.
All facts.
That's how women like my third time.
Third, bruh.
I'm not, yo. I'm
Third
not.
happening over here.
It might be like-
no
Yeah.
Be lucky with the one.
third time in a month. All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We are not that old yet. What in the blue pill is going on here? Okay, so you are originally from Savannah, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it-
Seaport.
And it's, you know what? I listened to the song Georgia Peach,
for sure.
Kinship, and you
Kinfolk.
were Kinfolk, and you were literally like repping Savannah and Atlanta, and I thought that was so dope. That is a really dope song. Have y'all heard Kinship?
Thank you. Kinfolk.
Kinfolk.
Yeah.
George, I'm just gonna stick with Georgia Peach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, really dope song. So you're from Savannah
Appreciate
originally. I always thought you were from the islands for some reason. I've told you that before, right?
no,
I actually thought I heard a little tiny accent
Me
when you were
too.
talking.
But you have an explanation for that.
What was it again? But basically,
What is that? What did I tell her?
no. Well, if anything, is like. Well, first of all, Savannah has a different accent than Atlanta. We don't talk like people in Atlanta. And we're starting to now because of the internet, but mostly it's
of the
kind of
internet?
a geechee thing, if anything.
Geechee.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm from the coast, so I guess that's how it goes.
So
That's the short answer.
When we talk about Geechee, what are the things people say when they speak Geechee?
Well, okay. Now, mind you, there's different levels. I'm definitely not, like, I moved into an area where it's Geechee, so any of the stuff I picked up is that. But, for instance, a ass is bunky.
Like asses and booty is bunky?
Look at she bunky.
Look at she bunky.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where
Wow.
that's where
Now I know
starts
why.
coming in. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was seeing there's different ones in different places. I don't know. South Carolina, like Charleston and all, they got it deep, and everybody, even in the city is that. But in Savannah, they say sex is ruining. It's supposed to be probably rolling. I think
Ruining?
you're gonna get some rolling tonight.
That sounds like some rolling. It kind of like
It
Supposed to be
really
rolling.
does
It's probably
have-
rolling. I don't know, but it's probably I don't even know if people say
There's
that
no
no more.
explanation for half of this stuff.
Yeah,
it just
and
is
then,
what it is.
afflicted. That's a word.
Oh, shit.
They use that in Florida, though.
Does that
right?
mean like you were
That-
afflicted with an illness?
Not afflicted?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's all
That's-
afflicted up.
Okay.
You gotta put up on all that stuff.
yeah, flicked it up. Man, like he flicked it.
So in
bro.
Florida, they'd be like, you look afflicted, like you look like you've been through it, or
Probably
like
the
you.
same.
Okay.
Yeah.
It came from the Geechee something or other. Okay.
It stretches down there a little bit. You know, I was tripping because Rick Ross even was like, "I'm Geechee ho," and I was like, "What?" I don't know where. I don't know. I don't know where. Yeah, I would let it hear. I don't know. I just never
thought he was
heard
from
of him.
Miami. Yeah.
He's from Miami, so I don't know why.
Exactly.
But
don't
like
know
I
what that
said,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Even that afflicted, I know from Florida. So maybe,
Yeah, it stretches.
everybody be coming
Yeah.
from everywhere. So
Yeah, so
Like everybody says hella now.
Oh
Yeah,
that's-
I
they
say
try-
that, and that's the Bay for sure.
That's hella.
don't, this is all Bay right here.
Hella, hella,
Yeah,
hella,
I
hella,
fucks
hella.
with that all day. I love the Bay.
I just
And I
absorb
love y'all
whatever I
slang.
want to absorb
I
from
copy
whoever.
a lot of people's slang though. My whole thing is I take stuff from everywhere.
Well, you're a well-traveled man, dude. So what other question you got, Jake?
Oh, I mean, so you started writing your songs while you were in the Gulf War, and I think one of your songs off of the latest album talks about that, right?
Wait. Oh well. Yeah. I adapted the Bill Withers song. I can't write left-handed. I added my own thing onto it because he was a soldier and he mentioned his experience, and the song was the same to me. Like when I got. I mean, I'm a big Bill Withers fan. Obviously, we all grew up on him. But when I got into his music, I finally heard that song because it was never released. It was on some live thing. And I was like, whoa, that's like, wow, this guy wrote this in 73. And that's saying, like, he's, it was relatable. And so
That's good music.
he does a talk, yeah, exactly. And he does a talk in the beginning of his. And I didn't want to say the same thing he was saying. I just tried to update it and do my own thing. Yeah.
That's dope.
That's a dope song.
So speaking of Gulf War,
yeah, why? Paint that picture. How did you start writing songs in the Gulf War?
Oh, I always wrote. I don't know if I wrote, but I was writing songs. I was in the Army doing just kind of, when you're walking around and you just, trying to think of something to do. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
if you-
no, I
if you-
don't know.
No, I'm very curious about that.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
If you write, you just write work stuff. You know what I mean? Or just stuff to keep your mind busy.
I mean, were you writing before you
Yeah,
went
I've
to the
always
military?
written.
Oh,
I've
okay.
always written something, you know what I mean? And I probably messed around with music, but I'm not from Savannah is not like that music industry place or nothing. So I never thought you could do that, you know what I mean? So I think that if you're a writer, you probably are always trying to create something. So you just like making patterns and, if it's what you do, it's what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that back then I was probably, I was trying to write poems and I just started adding melody to it and helping. I was helping people write letters and, we had a slow jam tape that we would all make with the same like set of songs. We just change them up like, we're going to hit you with that BBD now. And we called it the Desert Storm, Quiet Storm. And
Desert Storm,
you
Quiet
still
Storm.
have this?
one of my friends does. It's like real dusty. I had one. At the time I probably was like,
you should
this
probably-
ain't nothing.
Hopefully
Now
the
I'm like,
tape still works.
Man,
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
a tape. That is. And so, I was an electronics guy. I was fixed radios and stuff. And so we had a little shelter. And when we lived in the desert, that was, that's your job. You're from there from your 9 to 5. And so you just sit in there. And I might have fixed all the radios. And you got a little
Free time.
Yeah, and you recording and and I think I did try to I recorded a song to a girl I liked, with the and sing something.
Right.
Yeah, that was probably the first song.
When did you realize like, oh, I'm about to do this for real?
Well, I moved to Atlanta and I was around it for a long time. I met India as soon as I got here. We were friends for 3 years and then we didn't do any music. And then we started doing music and, I did poetry. I hit the poetry singing around here. I hit the, Apache or Yin Yang or whatever it's called at the time. And then, you're just around and people are saying, oh, that's good. You know what I mean? Like I really, people talked me into it. Like I kept after you start, you really, like I said, I would write it when I'm at work anyway. But then when I started sharing it, and people was like, I like it, and then that was really how this kind of came into my own. And you know, I was want to write every day from that. You know what I mean?
When did you decide to become a vocalist and sing?
That was gonna be
With
my question.
all of that together, I was doing the poetry thing, and then poetry's kind of limiting, especially at the time, because it would have to be like all pro-black. Like, I mean, not that I'm not pro-black, but you know what I mean. It had to be like, you know how that.
No, I'm a black man.
I'm black, y'all.
Black
I'm black,
y'all.
y'all. And I'm
and
blacker
it was
than black.
yeah, like you couldn't write a regular old poem about taking a shit or something. You know, what I mean? You had to really. So it was like
That sounds beautiful,
or
by the
black
way.
woman and queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so. First, I did kind of troll the poetry scene, kind of making
I'm sure
shit
you-
about.
I'm sure
taking shit.
you did.
But then I got bored, and I sang something by Stevie Wonder that I was really digging at the time, and people were like, "Oh, that sounds good," you know. The songwriting I was in a play when I was in the military, and I sang something as an audition that I wrote, because everybody else was singing like gospel songs, and I don't know them. I can't remember them. So I sang something that I knew that I wrote at work, and they was like, "You're in." And then everybody that was like in the play with was like, "What was that?" And I was like, "I wrote it. I don't know."
You don't know I do this.
That was the only thing. That was the only thing that came to my head. I'd never really learned other people's songs. I just started doing that maybe last couple of years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like really learning other people's songs, like really knowing the words and learning how to sing them my way, and you know.
Did you want to be a singer, performer? What did you have ambitions to be?
I did mess with acting when I was a kid, and then that's how I ended up in that play, because I thought I was just gonna act, and they were like, "They got some singing there." I'm like, "Shit." And then, but then when
Did
I
you
was
know
in
you
there,
had a voice at the
That
time?
was my question too.
no, I liked.
Wow.
I grew up messing with like I kind of messed around with Anita Baker songs. That was the closest songs that I would be like,
Nice.
I think I sound something like the thing that I'm imitating, but I never could. Like growing up with like what is it, Jodeci, and you know all that kind of like that's like it just is different. Now I can kind of do it. Like I've actually cultivated my voice, but at first it was just raw, and it just sounds like me. And if you know, I mean, I think I have a kind of distinctive voice anyway. So that's the problem when you don't know what you're really doing. You know what I mean? Like you think that it's bad that you don't sound like everybody else.
That's interesting. I heard that I'm forgetting the movie, but there was a movie where it was Beyonce, Eddie Murphy was in it, and the director kept saying, "Eddie, stop singing like other people,"
Right.
because he had never
Right.
sung being himself.
Right. Yeah. I
You
can see that.
have such an amazing rasp and like uniqueness to your voice. I'm trying to figure out how ever in life you were like, I don't consider myself a vocalist.
Because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it now, but I didn't like it.
So, did you ever sing to get girls? Like before the first time?
Hell no. Now,
I'd
let me
be like,
tell you a story.
It's like I do now.
No. My cousin.
You know
That
it.
was pretty good.
Oh, look, I've been practicing.
Listen over here. But, that was Donnell, my bad. Anyway. My cousins in Boys and Men, Sean Stockman, Slim or whatever.
That's your cousin?
Yeah. And so it was crazy. Like I knew them like when they started singing. So I was in Philly visiting my uncle, and I met him because he moved. Long story. He was like, he's 15. Take this boy. And so then now he's over there with me. And then I had to they were in the group already, and they got signed. So I took them to some party. And I did start messing around with singing a little bit then, because I was trying to, and he used to hear me. He's like, "You sound all right." Then we went to this damn party, and Wanye was singing across the pool.
Oh, that'll take.
I stopped singing for about 2 years. Because he, have his voice.
Yeah.
I can hear him distinctively across that pool, just killing it. And I was like, damn. Nah,
Yeah, that'll take whatever self-esteem you have.
That's an amazing story.
But here, I'll wrap it up. I toured with them a couple of years ago, and we were just, shooting the shit, and I was talking about it. I was like, yo, and then he was just killing it. He was like, what? I was such a dumbass back then. He was like, I was just showing off, huh? And I was like, yeah. He was like, that was stupid. I was like, no, it was great. I never forgot it. Like,
Yeah, you were keeping the competition down.
Oh, oh, you want to be a singer?
Yeah. I was just walking up to the party like, you know, he was across the pool, like doing probably what he does at the end of the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just smashing. I was like, and that swallowed every thought that I ever had at like doing that. Because my cousin was like, yeah, I heard you sound all right. You know, let that voice out. And I was like, maybe I will. And I was like,
Then came Wanye.
Exactly. So real quick, we're gonna go to one musical break real quick, and forevermore, right? Anthony.
do it.
Go ahead, introduce your song.
hey, what up? It's Anthony David. Now we're done and do this one. I guess we're just gonna go in order. Did I pick any new songs to play?
I was wondering. I was like, nothing off the
bad.
new album.
Yeah.
I was just kind of, you know,
Should we just sing one a cappella?
Sometimes you gotta warm people up. Some of these people that's listening, they don't know everything, so you gotta. I decided I was gonna keep familiar, but yeah, we, you know,
All right,
it's
let's do it.
forevermore.
All right, Southside Dash, the world recording Eric.
All around the world. The world according to Eric. Mondays 4 to 7 p.m. Only on Southside Dash Radio.
Oh, man.
And we are
This is
back.
Quiet
Yeah,
storm.
we haven't run you off
That's a
yet.
storm, quiet storm.
And we're back.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
like
I'm
that.
sorry.
Talk a little German to me, guy.
Hey, no, that would not be what you want right now. Feel
I'm
the
sure you can make it
entire
work.
mood.
We can make it work.
So,
Hilarious.
So
what,
Dre-
what are we making work exactly?
We'll go through the German vocabulary and see what sounds good, you know?
I know. Oh my God, that sounded very.
Satanic?
Yeah, we'll go
That's
with
me and
that.
Jinx Link, by the way.
was gonna
I am
say-
also German. Ich bin...
Ein Berliner? What?
No, I was raised in Germany a little bit, too.
for real?
Oh, okay.
Military brat.
So, Dre had a few questions for you too. I think you wouldn't do
Oh,
that directly.
great.
You get to talk, Dre. Go.
No,
Let's go,
actually,
Dre.
no. I do have a real question.
Let's talk about Oakland.
Because, I mean, actually, who would you say is your favorite Oakland artist?
Dang.
You know what? I hate favorites though,
No.
personally.
Well, let's just go with Dwayne Wiggins, like Tony. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you can't go wrong
So,
there.
that dude is super cool.
Man.
Like literally, you know, I was in Columbus, Ohio years ago, right? And it was like, yo, Dwayne's here. Like he wants to come. Kiana. And he wants to come and jam with you. And I was playing an acoustic set somewhere random because they were there for a show. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, I didn't really believe that. He showed up with a guitar after I was finished. Was like, come on, let's do it.
Oh,
And we
not
just
even
did it.
performing, just chill.
No,
jamming.
just wanted to rock out.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And and I don't really jam like that. I'm not that good. He like set it up. It was great. It's one of the best moments of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
think he was here recently.
He's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool. And if I'm in Oakland, he might just hit me up like, what's up? You need something? Weed, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
It's Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is Oakland.
Yeah.
So you play the guitar. How long have you played the guitar?
Way too long to play at my level. At this point, it might be about, it's like 15, 16 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I started that way, and I started as a writer. Like, I didn't grow up playing it. I just
Gotcha.
picked it up, and you know,
Did you do it by ear or did you take
Kinda.
lessons and stuff?
kind of. I was doing that a little bit, and a lot of my friends that that they would just show you stuff. And then I had this guy named Laz. He was in the neighborhood that I lived in. He was a painter, like paint walls and stuff. And he showed up with this like paint all over his little suit and everything. And I was on the fire escape clanging away, and he was like, "Hey, let me see that thing." I was he looked homeless at the time, but because he was painting, he just got work. I just handed it to him. He killed it. So from then on, he was showing me stuff. We would just like smoke and drink and play, and he would just be like, "Do this, do this, do that," and then he showed me, and that was it. And then after that, I knew how to learn from that.
It's odd because I feel, and I could be wrong, but it seems like there's a decline in musicianship, if that's a word.
Talent? I feel like we've
Well,
covered.
I don't know. I mean, it
I
just
don't know
seems
about
like
talent, but
I just
it's
think
the
people aren't
musicianship.
musicians anymore.
In the mainstream, but this, you know what's funny? It's in a lot of different worlds. I'm amazed at how many. You know why? Because of church. You know.
Okay.
I can say that. Like the best musicians come from that, and so there are. It might not be hella crazy in school anymore. I don't know. But in the church, there's like you're gonna get some bad motherfuckers, and that's where. There's like out in Cali, like especially in LA right now, there's like that crazy jazz scene kind of going, and then the Robert whatever. There's some people There's a lot more than I thought.
Glasper, right?
Yeah, Robert
Yeah,
Glasper.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's not
yeah,
right.
I had a brain fart for a second, but there's a lot more than you think. But you know, there probably could be more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I just remember there was a time when, like, you know, when people recorded, that they were in there with like
Jamming.
10 studio musicians that were, you know, just musicians
That's true.
that were like the shit. And
Yeah, well, that's more so the way the industry is set up. Like, they don't really pay people to sit around doing that because you can really get one guy to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then he got the banging track, and then you know,
Do you know who Louis York are?
Louis York.
Yes. So it's a group of producers. Okay. I'm just asking. It's a
like
group
a
of
dope
producers. Yeah. Well, one is from St. Louis and one is from New York. And so they came together and did Louis York. And they've worked together. I mean, they've worked producing wise behind the scenes with some of the top names in the industry, including like Michael Jackson, et cetera, right? But one of the things that I appreciated was they literally still bring their musicians into the studio and do like this live jam session. So you really get that vibe.
Yeah, we
And that is so rare these days.
Yeah, it depends on the type of, like, I did it on the Bill Withers tribute because that's the kind of music you have to, you know what I'm saying, do that with. And so yeah, that was fun to be able to like line up folks because it costs money, man. You gotta like. Yeah, obviously, happy musicians are paid musicians. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You ever seen this documentary, Standing in the Shadows of Motown?
Yes, love it.
Yeah, my dad put me on that a long time ago, talking about the amazing musicians that are that help create, that made the sound that people know about. Not help create, they actually made the sound. They were the actual, essentially, what you would call the producer today.
Right.
They made the beats and everything else, and they weren't well compensated
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
You know, I was
the
watching
whole industry's like that.
You know what I watched yesterday? I watched
Please tell
Sam
me.
Cooke.
Yes.
I gotta get to that. I don't tell me nothing about it.
I ain't gonna tell you
I
that.
gotta watch that one. I love Sam Cooke. My mama
And because
loves
when you
Sam
said
Cooke.
that, right, you'd be like, "Oh, these bastards!"
Well, I knew it was bad. I heard it
That's
was
right,
pretty bad.
Ariel.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
heard
But-
you about the
but-
church.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm talking. I should.
What you say? Go ahead. Give me a shout out.
No, it was Ariel. She actually on the latest album too. Ham singer from Cleveland. Actually from Youngstown, but I met her in Cleveland.
She's on your IG. Go shout out your
I'm
IG.
gonna make a joke about Youngstown real quick. She knows.
Go shout out your
Anyway.
IG real quick.
Oh, Anthony David ATL, and we're on the live right now. But yeah, she made a comment. She said there's less and less talent because people don't really go to church like that no more.
I can see that.
I can see that. And church is a good place. Now I'm just take the religion part out for young guys because you'll learn from an old guy. You know what I mean? Like my friends are now becoming the old guy now, and they'll bring in a new guy, some new drummer. My drummer, my main drummer, but there's another guy that's like 20. He was like, he couldn't drink. But I didn't know because he was so seasoned.
Hilarious.
And like I'd sit and watch my friends tell him like, yeah, don't do this and do that. And you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you know. So if you got it,
Cultivate
you're
your
gonna
skill.
get to play every week at church. And then you're going to play every day because you're going to be rehearsing. And it's going to be an old guy telling you like, if you got it, they're going to tell you like, they're going to cultivate that with you. They're going to mentor you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how usually the little circle of session musicians that you want to holler at, they're going to be within your circle already. I ain't never been looking for a guy in years. I just asked my drummer, like, hey, who's available? You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay. So what else you got? Man?
You know, my one question, I was always been curious about this because me and my friend have talked about it. I could have my eras off, right? Because are you a little behind what would have been neo soul, or would you have been in that era?
I'm kind of in it, and a little behind at the same time. Like my records came out probably at the time that it was sort of, I guess you would say, definitely people were. It was recognized as the trend. So then that was when the artists were saying, I ain't no neo, so you know.
That's literally what I wanted to ask.
Why would they say
Do you
that?
think that term though hurt
No,
the new soul? Is I guess the best way to say it. Okay.
I think it was, and this is a opinion I not many people have with me, especially the musicians in that. They just want to be cool, you know what I mean? And I got caught in it. I was in Savannah, really trying to put my music on. I was in the radio station there, and the guy was like, "This is neo soul, right?" And I was like, "No," And he was like, "Well," and I realized that throughout the conversation because I was dodging everything he was saying. I'm like, "You're trying to like me," you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm over here trying to be super smart about, but I ain't. You know what I mean? He was like, that's all I know for what this is. You know, and I think it was a good entry for people that didn't know what it was. So, but people kind of messed it up because they just wanted to move on.
So what do you think? What would you call your brand of music then?
It's R&B, it's neo soul, it's soul, it's all of those names. It's,
Right.
You know, whatever one works.
No, for real.
Whatever you
I mean,
want
so
to
you
call
kind
it.
of just take it from it's music. Yeah.
But I know that it's in a certain range of music. I'm black. I like certain things. I like to say a certain way. I like to speak to certain people.
Well, let me tell you, if you were in
You know what I'm
Germany
saying?
right now, you'd have a whole area that says just black music.
Right.
And that would be your category.
Right.
There's no R&B, no,
right.
it's just black.
Racism.
Right.
I mean, maybe.
Right.
So I guess speaking of Europe, so are we
Are we on Russia?
Are we on Russia?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard Russia's
Spasiba.
kind of racist for black people. Did you experience that at all?
Yeah, there's not a lot of black people there. I didn't experience, well,
Like
I would
dangerous.
expect them
the
to really
most
love
I
you.
experienced was being in a strip club there on the last night. And I remember seeing like this, there was like little sex dolls and there was one with like big old dick and big old lips and it was the black one. I was like, wow. And it was just there, like,
Okay.
that's it.
Word travels well.
That's a
But it was
we
like the
we
big
approve
coon-
those
it was
type
the
of
coon-
stereotypes.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
it was
what
the
you're saying?
coony lip thing and everybody's
Oh, it was
mad about.
blackface.
Yeah,
It was on a real face.
Yeah, and it was like a
goodness.
little figurine, and he was like, yeah.
As long as he had a big penis,
Yeah.
we're good, right, Eric? All right.
We like that one.
Oh, Jesus.
But that was it. Like, and then I didn't see. I saw 5 black people the whole time I was there, counting them,
Damn.
and only 2 of them that I actually speak to, because otherwise it was like 2 guys walking together somewhere, and you know what I mean, walk by them, and
I mean, I don't know if Russia's one of those places where black people be like, ooh, gotta go.
Well, I've heard stories where African dudes.
yeah,
have
the
gotten,
African
like,
students
beat up
get beat up and stuff like that. I didn't feel like when I was in Moscow, I was like I was staying around the corner from the club I played at, and then I was there to have an off night, so I was like, I left that place. And then I was walking by this place that was playing some old techno or something, and a bunch of white guys, Russian guys, standing outside of there. And I didn't feel like I could walk through that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I ain't rolling deep. Let me just go on back to my room. I don't feel cool walking around. I didn't feel that.
But, I mean, you can feel that here. Shit.
I don't. Not here.
Oh, okay, nice.
So you're like, oh, time to hit the old dusty trails, a group of weird
I
white
guess I
guys.
know where. I don't
Where
feel
to
that
go.
here. Yeah. But
Well, I'm in
there,
America.
I don't know where. I can't. Yeah, I wouldn't know. And I don't know how to communicate. I don't know the language, so I wouldn't know how to talk shit to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I
No,
was
for
like,
real.
"No, I'm good. I'm gonna just stick to the road.
So real quick, you're a big fan of the UFC.
Yes, huge fan. Oh, by the way, I should say that all the crowds where I played at, super cool people.
They were? That's dope.
Great audience.
So real quick, you're a big fan of the UFC.
Yes.
I should have called you.
It's the only sport I'll really watch.
I should have called you.
What, this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because of
There
that.
was an event that you did not invite him to. Is that where we're going?
that's not
Because
true.
you would be in
That's not
trouble
true.
right now.
That's not true. I feel.
I should have. I have little fight parties.
Yeah, I know. Because listen, he was there when I almost assaulted somebody for cheering against Nate Diaz and the Conor McGregor
Right, I
fight.
forgot about
Who's
that.
Nate Diaz?
Nate Diaz is
real question.
an amazing UFC fighter
Amazing.
from my
Him and his brother
hometown.
Nick. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, you
Okay,
from Stockton?
Born and raised.
Yeah.
So
209?
209, exactly. So
I don't think I knew that.
I was at the game, the Hawks game on Saturday,
Yeah.
and I'm with my good friend Maurice Allen. He's a world champion long drive golfer, dude. Really cool.
That's tight.
Oh, he's staying in Atlanta, huh?
Yeah. I turn around because the cameraman was like, "Hey, Nate,
Nate Diaz was at the.
hold on. This is gonna get crazy, right?" So I turn around. I'm like, "Oh, it's Nate Diaz." Now I don't really trip off of too many people.
Right.
That's Nate
I
Diaz.
love Nate Diaz.
So I was like, "Yo, 209." He said, "What you know about that?" So I started telling the people I knew, and he's like, "Yo, I know these same people." So he's like, "Man, yeah." So we talked for like half the game, whatever. He says, "Hey man, what we going after this?"
Right. You're kind of big guy too, so he'd be like, "Yo, we can go wherever we want to
Right.
go."
So he says, "I said, let's go to El Bar."
You took Nate Diaz
To El Bar on Saturday.
Dude,
That's why.
now I'm mad.
Have him walk out.
No, are you crazy?
I should have called you, man.
My God! You was at the El Bar with Nate Diaz?
People couldn't believe he was there.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you.
And
are
all I
not
kept thinking that Sunday morning was, wait till I tell Anthony that I was kicking
What?
it.
I wasn't doing shit.
Yo, hey. So if you guys don't know who Nate Diaz is, and Nick Diaz, they're some of the most popular fighters in the UFC because they don't take no mess with nobody. They'll fight you in the grocery store, and they'll fight you in the octagon. They
I will
don't
fight
care.
you in the train. I will fight you in the car. I will
Everywhere.
fight you.
Right, and they do this thing called the Stockton slap, and they'll open palm slap you.
Stockton, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Until it'll say Stockton, motherfucker. Like slap the dog in front of
just
everybody.
some fighters.
Yeah, some real fighters. Yo, shout out to Steve Canal. I see you, man. So he came out there. We drank some tequila, man.
Oh, they did you dirty, dog.
No.
Did you dirty?
Look. I got his number, man. I told him I was gonna try to call you. Oh, we got a caller. Go ahead. It's the world according to Eric. What you got?
I could have hung out.
Hey, Eric, it's Mauricio.
Mauricio, what's going on, man? What you got to say?
Yo, I'm not. I was watching your show. I'm kind of mad. You didn't call me. You were hanging out with me.
Everybody mad.
God, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
man, he was really cool,
You
man.
didn't just run into him at the game. I'd have been cool with that.
Nah. I
You
told
hung
him.
out
Would you have been happy if he just flicked you off? Would you have been like, yes, this is complete?
Right, it's Nate Diaz, man. I don't fan out over a lot of people, man, but I really rock with him,
That
dude.
beat up Conor McGregor.
Yep, the dude, yeah.
Oh,
Choked him
okay.
out.
Yeah.
That's how we should
All
have
right, thanks,
described
Mauricio.
him.
He literally must have lost his marbles a little bit because normally he'd be calling the whole city talking about.
I didn't see any Instagrams or nothing.
You had Nate Diaz in the L bar?
Dog, I told him to come through. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna come through. Don't even trip. I was like, all right, cool.
He did.
Yeah, he came through, man, kicked it, and people were trying to figure out because I had him at the bar.
Yeah.
You know, when you first
Yeah.
walk in on the corner, and so all these people like, and they kept, is that Nate Diaz? I'm like, yeah, it's Nate Diaz.
That's
And so
crazy.
I had to tell you that. I tried to get him on the phone. I think he's probably training or something right now. But I really wanted you to talk
Is
to
he
him.
here?
No. He went back home. But I'm gonna get him to. We're gonna talk on three ways.
So y'all are cool. So when he comes back,
yeah, all day. So
I
had
just
to
hope for that. So
I had to tell you.
I don't know how he be pulling this stuff off sometimes.
Hey,
Like he
man,
just be pulling
that's
situations
his
out
gift.
his ass.
That
And
is
this
fucking
is
his
why
gift.
this is called The World According to
See,
Eric.
leave me hanging again.
Yo,
Let me hang with Nate Diaz.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have told.
He is devastated, like for real,
I'm
for
not
real
over
right
this
now.
yet. That's
It was so spur of
He
the
was
moment.
legit about to walk out on us.
That's really bad.
Took the headphones off, about to throw them on the floor. Like,
Oh man.
Yeah, man. So did you watch any of the UFC fights?
Yes. It was
So
Anderson Silva fought Israel Adesanya.
yeah, I didn't see it. Now
great.
I like Israel. Now he's the second coming.
Yeah.
I heard he won.
He did. He
was-
touched
it was a
Anderson
decision?
up a little bit. It was a good fight. It was a real good fight.
So it went the whole.
Yeah, there were 3 rounds. Anderson got him in the second round too. So he looked good.
Anderson is one of the most talented.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he's one of the most talented. He's the most talented fighter I've ever seen. So when he lost the belt the first time, I was devastated. I remember where I was when he lost the
Messing
belt.
around. Like,
Yeah. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just knock this dude out. You can touch him
Right.
anytime you wanted
Then
to.
he broke his leg. on
Right.
the guy.
It snapped in two.
He's a pro.
It snapped in like literally.
Snapped
his leg
his-
snapped like a twig when he went to kick somebody.
Okay, you guys are gonna make me
like
watch
when
more
George
UFC.
Paul and the
Oh, it's
basketball.
a
or
good sport.
I mean, because I stopped boxing,
Paul
dude. Boxing is
George.
just
No, I got it back.
there's no interest in boxing anymore, and I don't
Yeah,
really.
I
You
know.
have to be a hardcore fan.
Your
dog.
boy quit, Andre Ward. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
retired,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, I mean, I watch a few things here and there, but I watch fighting. Yeah, I like watching that.
Yeah, like I love it. I love it, man. So next time he comes out here, I promise, dude, because they're good people. His whole crew is cool, super cool people, man. So it was just
How
so.
he was with like Nick was there too.
No, Nick wasn't there. It was just his buddy Cole and like 3 other guys, and like 2 of them had broken hands. So I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let's go. And they're like,
It's just
you
work.
could go with them anyway.
yeah, that's straight. Straight. So yeah,
You
man,
would have been good in Russia with that company, huh?
Yeah.
I don't win everywhere.
Just cussing everybody out for no
Right.
reason.
Yeah, I'm
Making
glad
it
I
up
wasn't
as
there
real.
because I might have tried to pull some proper nigga bullshit like, hey, homie, I'm trying to get a drink, man.
Right.
The beginning
But
of
then-
tall is
but
trying
then
to
you
order
gotta
that
be
drink,
careful.
damn it.
You gotta be careful with that because then Khabib would have Nate and Khabib don't like each other.
They don't like each other either?
Yo, so a little Russian thing. So Khabib Nurmagomedov is a fighter there, but he's from Dagestan, and then there's the Dagestan and Chechnya. Those people are from the Caucasus Mountains, right? In Russia, they call them black.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Caucasians in are called black. Right. And then they call white people Caucasians here, and they're not. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, but that plays into like the whole like international thing with race, because there are people who would be like the whole thing with Gucci or H&M,
Right.
Those, in other countries they don't see the things as racist like that.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
And he's well traveled, man. So I kind of listen. I mean, you guys are well seasoned.
Well, I'm on a couple trips.
Yeah.
It's weird. That whole
Well, look, we're about to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the black and bougie ruining Black America. All right. Now, if you want to stay,
I want to hear
you
this.
can stay.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
All right, cool.
There it is.
Let's play that next song, man. We got Booed Up with Anthony Davis.
Oh, dig it. That's fairly new.
Yeah. Yo, if you guys want to call in,
Mila, who is in Russia right now.
Before you guys call, listen, when we start talking about this, feel free to call in at any time. 678-999-8053. That's 678-999-8053. It's the World According to Eric, Southside Dash Radio.